Hello, it's Joan Silva with Tidy Up Tuesdays. I wanted to go ahead and have a Facebook Live on my profile as well. Many of you are used to having me be here on regular Facebook talking about clutter and tidying up. It is the thing that fascinates me and I love to chat about. So here I am, Tidy Up Tuesday, and the topic is, what are your hidden beliefs about clutter? Or your core beliefs. I use the word worn out beliefs. There are many for us. And the thing that I noticed is that they are hidden below the surface. So here you are with 5% in our conscious realm and 95% below the level of seeing. And in it is so many things that much of it came from when we were children, when we were open vessels, and our parents and others that we saw as higher, having more respect for what they knew on planet Earth, they put in there again and again. So what is in that 95%? Fascinating enough, at about age 7 or 8, we close that vessel off, that vehicle off, and we say, no more, you don't get to put any more. Yet it drives us like we don't know. I'm Joan Silva. Again, I'm your tidy up gal and queen of clean. I love sharing and helping you discover the joys of tidying up. And I appreciate those of you who have joined me here today. I decided to do this on the live Facebook page as well. So welcome, welcome. Hey, Diane, hello to you too. Thank you, thank you. And Holly, you said I got rid of 200 pounds of stuff. Thank you, Joan. Oh my God, that feels fabulous. Isn't that a weight lifted off? I mean, literally 200 pounds is a literal 200 pounds, but it's also figurative 200 pounds because the weight on ourselves is so heavy. I noticed that recently because, boy, here in California, I'm looking out the window. It is like spring already. And spring doesn't come until mid-March. Frogs and the birds don't know this, and neither do the trees and flowers and bees. They're having a gay old time, and so am I. I do really well in temperate weather. And by the way, you want to know the best time to declutter? Temperate weather. So take advantage of it. They've noticed that hot, high temperatures actually ruffle our feathers and make us kind of crabby. They actually have higher levels of crime during hot, high temperatures. And cold, cold weather, we're used to hibernating and being a little more lethargic. So it doesn't, and our blood slows down. So it's not exactly the ideal time to actually declutter. But today I wanted to talk about this topic about worn out beliefs. Where did they come from? They could have came from your family dynamics. Let me use, for example, my husband's family coming from an immigrant family from an island of Madeira, in particular, his father. And they used everything, everything. If it was a rusted nail bent, they took it out, cleaned it up, hammered it straight, and used it again. Because as an island at the time, poverty, very high poverty level. Now it's an island that they go to with cruise ships. It's so beautiful. And the thing is that that's deep in the DNA. So it's about our history. There's a lot of ancestral beliefs that we carry forward in our DNA, like that for my husband. Many generations of that. And we don't even know it. Here we are thinking that this is just the way it is. And there we are again. 5% of it's conscious. 95% is subconscious or unconscious. Just notice where your piles are. I notice that I hide them or I neaten them up. So I have a belief that as long as it's neat and tidy, even if I don't use it or need it, somehow that's the way it's supposed to be. And I encourage people again and again, because I saw this in my own behavior, let go of it first, then tidy and organize. So here's the other thing, be conscious of. As the weather warms, we spend more money. There is a direct link between nice warm weather and wanting to shop and get things. So beware, don't go buy those containers before you purge. So another belief that you might have is that I'll use it someday, or I need it, or it's valuable and useful. But here's the little trigger for you, the little nudge. But are you using it? Probably not. Then it's time to let go. I got a beautiful book from somebody as a gift. And it's a large book, beautiful, beautiful book. And it was inside this incredible box. Open this lid, and there's a silk liner. Well, I took the book out, and I've been reading it. And there the box, beautiful box, sat. And I kept moving it around. I kept trying to use it in some way. And then I realized, no, Joan, it's beautiful. It actually has useful purpose. I could put stuff in it. I could use it for pens and pencils. By the way, I purged those too. And I thought, no, time to let go. Now, if it's something that's useful for someone else, certainly pass it along. I'm going to warn you, though, here's the belief. I can make money on this. Somebody else could use this. Now, I'm not telling you to get rid of stuff that could be sold and bring some cash flow into your pocket and just toss or give it away. What I'm going to give you a little hint at is be very strategic with that and purposeful. My husband has been recently purging his storage unit. It's going to be, the property was sold and the units are actually going to be used by the people who bought the property. It's only a few units. And the thing is that as he did, he realized there's these nice tools that he's not using very often. So we've been being very discerning. Is this something we give away? Because there's a local contractor handyman that he's friendly with, that they do trade work and help each other. So he gave a number of things to him because he and his workers, his team, use these things, like a really nice high-end paint sprayer. Then we turned around and we said these couple of other things we could actually sell, which we did very quickly and made some cash flow. Be discerning and set a deadline, because your belief systems will say, well, it's valuable, I can sell this. And before you know it, it's just another item stacked up out of your house, maybe even out of an area that was cluttered, and now you're making it clutter again somewhere else. So hello, Rowena and Michelle and Ron. Let me see who else joined me. And Joan, thank you for joining me. So share with me, what is your hidden belief? And I realize that when I say hidden, it's like, well, how the heck would I know it's hidden? What do you think it is? What do you think the worn out belief is for you? Is it that you have to hang on to something because it was given to you? Do you think you have to use it because it's useful? So you force yourself to wear an outfit you really don't like, a pair of shoes that pinch, hurt. I did that recently. They were nice shoes. They were supposed to be comfortable. They were flatter than anything I normally would have worn in the past. By the way, I wear flats now. I wore them to an all-day training that I did, a facilitation of a retreat, and I ended up with the worst sores and blisters on my feet. And they are still healing a couple of weeks later. There's still like a scar there. So, hello? Useful shoes? Not for me. Out they went. So how about you? What is your worn out belief? What is it that your family believes that you've taken on? What is it that you have historically come through with your ancestors that has seen something valuable that no longer is for you? How about the idea that your kids want this stuff? I'm going to tell you, most kids, and they try to be polite. My daughter's very straightforward. Mom, I don't want your stuff. And so I said to her, of my stuff, what is it you do want? And so we had that discussion, and she was able to give me an honest response so that I didn't leave her stuff that she truly didn't want, and then it's heavy on you as a burden. So you think you have to hang on to it. It's my mom's. It's my grandma's. I get it. It's tough to let go of those things because once they enter your life, your home, they just grab on, and it's very challenging to let go. So Joan, you said, I give away at times. Wait a minute. I give away at times. I feel like I can afford to buy it again. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. We sometimes think there's that core belief that I won't be able to afford it again, or that I will have to spend valuable money on it because I already have it. Why would I do that? Exactly. Absolutely. We think that we can't get rid of it because it'd be a waste to go buy it again. I think that's one that my husband has a strong belief in because being a handyman electrician, he has lots of tools and other things. And it's like, well, paint sprayers, like I mentioned earlier, is that he got rid of a paint sprayer. And I said to him, they're not that expensive. You do very little painting anymore. He usually refers that work on to an actual contractor, paint contractor. He might do small areas, but he does better with a roller and a brush. you know? And I love the way somebody said a stick with hair on the end. Yes, he does better with a roller and a brush. And so he finally said, well, let me release the paint sprayers, which he did. Useful, valuable to someone else. So thank you, Joan. And if you need it again, you can buy it again. Anybody else want to share one before I close? Oh, yes, Diane. Oh, shoes trigger. Yes, can't wear them. Then I feel badly because I feel I should have known better. Therefore, bad girl again. I know, isn't it ridiculous? Can't tell you how many times I've put those shoes that I just mentioned. They're nice shoes. I purposely bought them to wear for professional purposes. Lower little wedge, nice padded insole, nice looking shoe. Nothing high end, certainly not one of those 4-inch really cool looking shoes, no. But they were attractive. They were particularly nice looking professional. I like to look somewhat buttoned up, that's just me. And they were horrifically uncomfortable. They didn't breathe, they squeezed, they pinched, they rubbed. And I kept thinking, oh, I just have to break them in. Well, how many years do you have to break them in and you put them back on the shelf? I did that again, put them on the shelf. Keep forgetting somehow that they pinch my feet and hurt my feet. How crazy is that? So yes, so then they get put back up on the shelf or in the closet. I have a walk-in closet with some areas for shoes. Put them back. And then somehow I wouldn't remember they were that bad. Or I somehow, sort of like when you had a child and it's time to have another baby, you forget how bad the delivery was. By the way, I didn't, so I only had one child. I guess I have a better memory in that area. But you forget that those shoes actually don't do well. You think, oh, well, I'm only going to wear them for a short time. Oh, like Oprah says with her 4-inch spiky heels. She only wore those sitting on stage and actually interviewing somebody. She didn't walk in those. So somehow did I think I was going to do that. And by the way, I ended up barefoot for some of that period of that time. So how professional is that? Here you are in your professional little attire, running a retreat, and you're standing in your bare feet. Thankfully, it was all very open-minded, very cool women. So thank you for bringing that up, Diane. And let's just use those shoes as a metaphor. We do this in many things. Notice that. Keep a jar because it looks really cool, and there you stack up jars in your cabinet, and you're not using them. Oh, I'll make a creative craft out of them. Well, if you're not doing them within a certain period of time, notice that's a belief that you have, that somehow it's a creative project. Well, if you're not using them, then you really aren't doing that, are you? So hi, Roxanne. Thanks for joining me. Went ahead and did my Tidy Up Tuesday here today. Oh, yes. Let me just address something that Joan just posted. Books. Yes, me too. Must go with the name Joan. What do you think? I have to really watch that. I just noticed I'm shifting around our business offices. We have 2 home offices, and we're going to join into one office. That ought to be entertaining. Let's see how that works. But my husband is usually out and about as a handyman and electrician. So I started looking at what we're now using as the TV room, which was joined with my office. And I opened the closet and thought, when did I get all those books? I thought I was really good about keeping track because I purged my books. My husband and I did almost 2 years ago. And we brought it down to very few. And suddenly there I was in another little cubby, which is the way I do it. I had books. The bookcase where we had kept them, we have 2, and here in the office where I'm at, that's kind of where I'm pointing. One shelf is for novels and kind of that kind of read, and then this bookshelf over here is for business books and for how-tos and self-help, things like that, motivational books. And suddenly I was sneaking them into the other room, into the other closet on that shelf. Isn't that fascinating? So yes, books for me, because I have a belief that books are valuable, that books educate, books teach you, books have a learning in them that lasts historically a lifetime. And yet often, it's so fascinating, when I'm researching something, do I go open that closet and use those books? Oh no, I actually go online and I actually start doing a deep dive there and getting many different inputs around the research I'm looking for. So like right now, I am researching for the magazine article that is due this Friday for the published magazine that I write about tidying up every month. The topic I'm using is how does weather, energy movement of planets, and climate affect your clutter clearing? and bringing order to chaos. And so one of the things I recognized is certain temperatures facilitate or not your clutter clearing. And so you might have a belief that weather doesn't affect me. There's a belief that absolutely isn't true. By the way, we don't have to believe in gravity, but it's true. Our bodies are very much, our psychological, our vibe is really very much affected by the temperature changes, the climate changes, the movement of the planet, moons, night to day. So that's very powerful. If you don't have that belief system, you might be trying to clear clutter at the absolute worst time, the dead of winter. That doesn't work real well, and then you'll blame yourself. You'll think you're just not capable. And then the belief system is even deeper solidified for you that you can't do this. I just am not good at this. So let me just share with you. I have a link up in the up above and under my title. Let's see if I could spit it out. And if you'd like to be part of my every other week e-newsletter, Tidy Up Tuesdays, today it went out. And it was, who's clutter? How dare you call my stuff clutter? It really is titled, Who Says It's Clutter? So that's just went out this morning if you would like to participate in that. And if you're not on my From Clutter to Tidy Facebook group, please head on over there and join us. We've been having some really rich, deep conversations around clutter to tidy and what that means, what works, what doesn't. And it's more than just Joan's vibe and voice. It's a lot of people that are giving give and take. It's a great community. So join us there and have a happy tidying. Today is Tidy Up Tuesday. Today is Fat Tuesday. And by the way, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I'm making this a timely thing. And I'm celebrating 37 years to my honey. Happy Valentine's Day too. And happy tidying.